So this is Marley, our daughter, just a little over 1 now, full of personality and sassiness. So we had Marley through IVF, and right in the beginning, as soon as we'd had the open evening and we found out that it was possible for Rebecca to be able to egg share, that was kind of definitely the route that we decided to go. I mean, we didn't really discuss it that much, did we? It was kind of like, do you know what, if we can help someone else, then it'll eventually come back like good karma. We believe in that. So we thought egg sharing was definitely for us. And we've helped a couple of ladies, and then ultimately it came back our good karma and we ended up with Marley. So it's been a great year, really great.
I know for me, I wasn't as disappointed as you because we'd egg shared, and I always knew that my eggs were okay. Eventually we'd get there. But for you, it was a bit like...
I think I'm a little bit older. So for me, it was kind of... It'd been something I'd wanted for such a long time that it kind of just... It felt a little bit like a slog towards the end. But again, I've always kind of tried to remain positive and just focus on the goal, really. We're both quite positive people, aren't we? And I think it's just taking it step by step. I mean, you know, the first thing is to both get tested and work out the best route, really, to take to get to the end goal, really.
It was very clear, and you can get going straight away. In your head, I've spoken to so many people that are going through the journey at the moment, and they think, you know, it'll be 6 months to a year till we can start. And actually, it's really not. It's get your sperm ordered and you can go straight away, which is nice. And it's simple.
You go at your speed that you want to go, really. I mean, you can either kind of jump in with 2 feet and get going, or you can take some time to think about it. But the information, it's always there and available. I mean, the open evening was really, really useful. It talks you through kind of all the individual options. And then you've just got to sit down and work out which one would be best for you. You know, whether financially, you know, there's lots of factors that you need to take into account, but the information's there for each of the different pathways anyway. So, but the open evening I found really, really useful. The website's amazing as well. So much information on there. If you chose to do it at home with donor sperm, then that again is your choice. But for us, it was never an option. We were never going to go down that route, mainly because
there's too many risks. Number one, this is my personal opinion. There's too many risks. The legality of it all, and even looking through thousands of donors, picking one that you know is right. And we went to pick one, and actually Carol said, why would you pick that one? Because they're not 100%.
The chromosomes.
Don't go with someone that's not perfect, go with a perfect donor. And that just sunk in, really, and made it...
Yeah, I feel like...
done it at home ever.
You know, it's a big thing to go through. Falling pregnant, being pregnant, and the whole process of it. And for me, there was never any doubt that we wouldn't have the backing and support from medical professionals in that. It was never an option to just do it at home and to kind of take the risks and not know all that background information, the medical side of it. And you know, if there was to be any complications at home, I just don't know how people would feel about that. Whereas here, we would pick up the phone or pop into the clinic, or so. Yeah, it was never a decision.
Oh, okay. So with the injections, one specific memory is in my head, and we were on FaceTime to Kelly's mum because she felt like she was invested in our little journey with us. And I had to do my first one by myself because Kelly had done all the previous ones, and I couldn't do it. I was shaking in the kitchen, I was crying, and Kelly said, you're going to have to do it because you've got to go to work and you've got to do it by yourself. Anyway, I did it once by myself, and it was absolutely fine. no, and now I'm not scared at all. But that was round 1. Round 2, a breeze, and then we had to do 3 rounds, so yeah, used to it now. I'm pretty much one of those people that just goes, dust yourself off and just get back on the... I never didn't think it would happen though. I think for some people that don't really believe in it, then it might have been harder, but I always knew we'd get there. It was just going to be a slog. It might be the first round, it might be the second round.
I think it's not having too high expectations on yourself, and just trying to... I know it's easier said than done, about remaining positive, and you know, we went through an early miscarriage and, you know, negative test results, and we're very much we're there for each other, and we're like, okay, let's have a couple of sad days, let's get this out of our system, but let's get focused again, regroup and carry on being positive, I think. And we know how it feels, we've been there ourselves, and we try, and when our friends are going through that, we try and kind of give that information across to them, as we know it's really hard, but don't let them demons creep in. It's remain positive, because, you know, I'm quite a believer in positive attitude, and hopefully it will help you get your goal. So
I always think, yeah, there's always going to be a way, and in a weird way, we were lucky enough that there was 2 females. I had the good eggs, so if it hadn't have worked eventually with me, we knew that we could produce babies with these eggs, so then we had Kelly. There was always backups, and I was just really, I just enjoyed it, like you say.
Exciting. I think having the embryos transferred is really exciting. I mean, it's fascinating, it's amazing. Obviously, again, you can overthink it and kind of let that worry creep in, but you're in the hands of experts. It's you've kind of, again, got to sit back and enjoy the ride. And I mean, you said it's kind of pretty pain-free, and
oh yeah, no pain at all, and you're taking the stress away from yourself. You're leaving it in control with someone else that does it every single day. So I found that just, yeah, really enjoyable. I never worried. Whereas people that do it at home or don't do it for a clinic, I think you've got all that stress yourself. I mean, you don't know what you're doing. But whereas you guys, you do it every single day and you're professionals. And that just gives me hope.
Yeah, I think it's exciting.
Not only that, there are options. If you can't afford it, there's funding, or you can egg share to reduce the cost. There's always a way. I mean, we're quite spoiled in this kind of day and age, aren't we? Whereas we like new trainers, new clothes. We just cut back for a year and we could afford free rounds, you know. You do make it work, and we don't earn loads, do we?
What's important, and having Marley was important to us, so just less fun nights out, and which now never happened anyway.
When we came in for the pregnancy scan, we were very nervous. I remember I had sweaty palms, my heart was beating 1,000,000 miles an hour, because I always bleed. So I'd bled the first round and then miscarried, and then this was lucky round 3, and I'd had a little bit of bleeding that morning, and I remember thinking the same's happening again. And then Jane scanned me and she went, "There's a heartbeat," and I might have said a few swear words, and I said, "You're joking," because I just didn't think it was happening. And she said, "No, I'm not joking." Turned the screen around and there was little Marley. And I just remember it was the best feeling in the world.
Yeah, it was really emotional, actually. Like, I think we've kind of got it in our head because of the bleeding. It was almost following a pattern as to what happened before. We were convinced that, you know, hadn't gone to plan again. Whereas, yeah, when Jane scanned us and we saw her little heartbeat, it was just amazing, incredible feeling. And like you said, a bit surreal, really. It was like, oh, okay, this is actually happening now. So yeah, it was an amazing feeling.
But Jane's so good. She makes you so calm, and Laura, our nurse, came in with us. She was like, "I really want to know if it's worked for you too." So that's what I mean. It's not, she doesn't just transfer the egg and then she's forgotten about you. They're here with you the whole journey. And since we brought little Marley up, haven't we?
Yep. Oh, we love the lab team, don't we?
George actually said he was looking after our little embryo, giving her a little hug, tucking her in.
singing to her every day. Making sure that you were growing nicely for us, weren't you? So yeah, he's again, really friendly
But most importantly, really informative. When you get that call to find out what's happened to your eggs, that is the scariest call in the world. And then you get another call a couple of days later, and then you're finding out, have they survived, have they not? And they're just so friendly and informative and tell you what the chances are and just put you at rest, really, which is nice.
And there doesn't ever feel like there's a silly question. You know, you feel like you're comfortable to ask any question because we're not medically trained. So you're never made to feel like you're asking something that's maybe simple to you guys, but not to us. It's really nice to feel that way and feel comfortable. We will tell. I mean, we actually made a book for our baby shower with photos of our whole journey. You know, photos where we took of like Rebecca and mine injection sites from the very first tests, and you know, each cycle we had, the embryo photos are in there, coming back from the scan. So we've actually made a book that was for our baby shower that explains it all. And I'm hoping that will be a really nice resource for Marley to look at and understand.
We weirdly enough used it for my grandma and my granddad because they didn't understand. My grandma was like, how can you be pregnant? You know, she was 90, wasn't she?
Yeah.
Sadly, she's passed away now, but yeah, she just didn't understand it. But then reading this book, she was like, oh, okay, I get it now. So you went into the clinic and it's just simplified it. So I think we'd use that. And we obviously keep bringing Marley here.
Yeah, I mean, we'll definitely tell her. It's just finding out when the right age is and the most appropriate way to tell her. But 100% we're gonna, you know, be open with her and let her know, and also where she can wander off back to when she plays up.